You and your friend could be wearing the exact same makeup and it could come out looking totally different, and this is the reason why. You guys could have been shopping for makeup, you could have tried on the same lipstick shade and then looked at each other and been like, well, that looks entirely different. Why doesn't it look like that on me? Or I have this, you need to try it, I love it. And then the friend tries it on and you're like, oh, that doesn't look the same. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miss Megan. I've been doing makeup for 15 years. 13 of them I worked for MAC, and I am no stranger to a pair of best friends wanting to wear the same product or recommending their looks on each other, having them try it on and be like, okay, but nothing is the same. Like, why doesn't it look this way? And you're probably heard, well, you guys have different skin tones, different face shapes, different eye shapes. So something you might not have considered is your brushes. So in this video today, I'm gonna do my skin. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about brushes, and I'm gonna teach you how to spot clean your brushes. So if you wanna learn about why your brushes might be ruining your makeup, please keep on watching. My skin already has Serumizer down and my Prevage Eye Cream. And I'm gonna go in with Face Protect SPF 50. Something that also used to happen all the time is somebody would say to me, this formula sucks, or like this foundation sucks, or like my foundation, you know, I can't wear foundation, doesn't look good on me. I hate MAC brushes because they don't work well. Or like, no, I'm just gonna get a cheaper brush because like my MAC brush, like it doesn't even work well. And I'm like, okay, like talk to me about how you clean your brush. Talk to me about how you store it. Like tell me everything. And I'd be like, do you have your makeup bag on you? Can I see it? And then they would pull it out. And I said, well, there's your answer right there. You're wondering why your blush is going on patchy and not fitting your face, and you have a brush shoved into your makeup bag covered in bottom makeup bag dirt, and now your brush is stuck like this and you're wondering why you can't apply it. Brushes are your biggest investment in your makeup collection, and they need to be treated with love. Makeup brushes are actually one of my favorite things. It was one of the first things that I was ever really attracted to when I was getting into makeup. My first brush ever was the MAC 224 eyeshadow brush. This one is probably from 2010. My one from 2008 finally separated. Think about how long. You buy them once, you have them almost forever. There's people that send me photos of their brushes and they've had them for like 25 years, 30 years. If you invest in a higher quality brush, it will last for you. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. So secret number one is that your dirty brushes, there is an art to the dirty brush. So if you find that your foundation is going on like super streaky or patchy or like gunky, or the colors aren't showing up correctly, it's because the brush is too dirty. There's also such thing as a brush that is too clean. But the state that your brush is in, I'm just going in with a little bit of Face and Body, and then I just had a bit of Pro Set and Blur. So like if a brush is like too dirty, like I'm talking you've never cleaned it since you've bought it, there is so much leftover pigments and oils and like product that has set, right? Like there's formulas that are supposed to dry down and get like, there's like long wear to them. This is gonna happen inside like your brush as well. And even like a clean brush, something that's brand new, needs to be broken in. It's like a fresh pair of shoes, and it will absorb like a little bit of product in the beginning. And sometimes it just doesn't lay things down as nice. So it's that mid like week's worth of usage that really makes the makeup go on well. I'm gonna make a custom shade for bronzer with the full coverage palette, and then this is a BK Beauty 115. And I say this all the time. So this is something that I would see happen a lot, where someone would finally decide that they're gonna invest in brushes because like, yes, it is a make or break of your routine, but it's not magic. So they would, you know, get a brush and then apply their products and be like, well, it doesn't look good. Like it's not better than what I was doing, but that's because you haven't adjusted your technique to the brush. The brush does not know what it's supposed to do. It doesn't know how it's supposed to do things. You're leading it. Another way that you can look at this about like how dirty brushes like affect your makeup in a bad way. I'm sure you guys have experienced this on like powders, bronzers, and blushes, that like hard layer that happens on top of your product. That is the buildup of something. That's the buildup of the oils. That's the buildup of your liquid foundation that's coming from the brush or a dirty sponge. And it's absorbing into, it's the water flower situation. It's absorbing into that and creating that hard layer. There is nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the product. It tends to happen more in harder pressed formulas. There's nothing wrong with it. It's telling you your brush is too dirty and it's time to clean them, or you went in too soon and it's too much wetness and it wasn't the right brush for that product. Like there's a multitude of different reasons, but that is something that can happen. I'm gonna do a little bit of bright forecast under my eye. For me, like my complexion brushes, so foundation and concealer, and then my powder bronzer, I want those dirty. It just makes everything apply a lot nicer. The first couple days I'm like, ew. That's why I don't wash my brushes as often as I should. Oh, here's another example. Here's a story time. The reason that you have your sponge in there is to store it in there. It's also like aerated, right? So that it's not creating, so the sponge can breathe so that there's gonna be no bacteria. Don't ever, if you have a compartment underneath, don't ever place the sponge on the top. If you must, for whatever reason, you would flip it so that the side that isn't touching your face doesn't ruin the product, because listen to these words I'm about to say. In particular, Studio Fix, especially old Studio Fix, is an oil absorbing powder, meaning its main job is to absorb oil. That also means absorbing the oil out of the sponge. So if you left that on there, the powder's like, oh yeah, look at this thing that's like pressed up against me, I'm gonna pull all of it out. And that's how you would get that hard casing. And not only that, the powder would end up looking like really dark in comparison and you couldn't pick anything up. Secret number 2 is thinking that any brush can work for you, or the brush that your friend really loves that's the best will work for you. But the thing is that your face needs its own wardrobe. So again, you and your friend, you could be wearing the exact same outfit, but there's gonna be a difference in your sizes. There's gonna be a difference in how it looks. And there's gonna be a difference if you got them like custom tailored to you. So it's the same thing with brushes. Love it, lock it in. I'm gonna hydrate so I can keep working. And to do the center part of my face, I'm gonna customize a highlight. Like, I want you guys to understand that how you look is what makes you unique, because none of us look the same. Even if you think, oh, well, you know, we have the similar does not mean same. Even though you guys have a similar eye shape, it's still not, even if you have the same skin type, your skin textures are probably gonna be different. So why are you guys using like the exact same product? Because even if it works for you, like I always say, there's something that could work better when it's customized to you. Your features determine your tools. So there's no such thing as like the best blending brush, because it's dependent on, well, what are you blending out? What's the area you're working in? What's your technique? What's your hand pressure? Like there's so many different things. Next, I'm gonna go in with Studio Fix powder in C8. I'm using a 187. This one I will never wash, like maybe twice a year. So the wrong brush size can over apply product, or can like skip the entire area because it's too small. So the size of your brush matters, the density of the brush matters. But like, this is the cool thing about brushes. It means like when you find a brush, right? So this brush can be used for skin tints. This can be used for taking a fuller coverage product and making it thinner. This can be used for body bronzing. This can be used for face bronzing. This can be used for contour. Like once you understand a brush and your technique and the product that you're working with, your makeup becomes endless opportunities. So your bone structure, your skin texture, the actual look that you're going for, the finish of your formula, all demand like a different brush. Your makeup routine should be customized to your specific needs, your specific look, your specific features. This, for example, is my favorite blush brush. This is the 137 from MAC. This is one because of its flexibility, it has to be dirty. There's no like, the day that I have to wash this is a very upsetting day. Here's a close-up on the skin so far before we go in with powder. And then like on the flip side too, right? You could start blaming like your technique when really it's your tool. So there are cases where you could have a really good technique for your makeup or your routine or the product you're working with, but you literally just have the wrong brush, or you have the right brush and you're like using it incorrectly. The technique that you're applying is correct, but how you're holding it, depositing the product, like all of these things are what goes into executing a really beautiful makeup look. So like, for example, I'm just going in with more Pro Set and Blur. So for example, your tool might not be distributing your product correctly or evenly, and that's how your technique kind of gets screwed up. But if you don't know that that's the reason why, that's when you start going on this like hunt of like, okay, maybe this product doesn't work for me. And now you're looking for like a whole new foundation when it wasn't that to begin with. And like, even if you love a brush, like not all brushes are meant for everything. A lot can be multi-use, but like there's gonna be some things that are probably best just left. And if you're like, well, I just want one brush to do everything, that's fine, but your list of everything is probably going to be a little bit smaller than if you had like 2 or 3 brushes. I'm going to brighten under my eye with a little bit of StuFix powder as well. I'm going to do another layer of Fix Plus. I see this all the time too, both like in my one-on-ones with people when I'm like correcting their techniques, and I saw it at MAC all the time too, is like you actually have to pay attention to where you load the brush. So like just because you like swirled into a product and then go into the eye doesn't mean that it magically applies where you need it to. You have to pay attention to where the product is. I'm gonna add a little bit of contour, and then I will show you how to spot clean your brushes. And then we'll do one final set. I'm gonna use Fix Plus Stay Over. I'm happy. Before we get into washing brushes, if you guys need a place to get started, whether you have a big makeup collection that you have no idea what to do with the product, or you're brand new to makeup and you don't even know where to start, make sure that you hit the link in my description and join my free Skool community. It is free to join, and it will get you started on understanding like why you guys are actually doing the things that you're doing, and it will change the way that you see makeup forever. I let in a certain amount of people per day, so make sure you hit the link in my description so you're not waiting too long. So let's get into how to spot clean your brush. I've only ever used brush cleanser from MAC, and I've only ever used it like dry, meaning not mixing it with water. You can if you want to, but you just have to take a paper towel and put some on there. And then you would take your brush and swirl it around. It foams like a little bit until the color is gone. And then you can just reshape it and then lay it flat to dry. Like you want to make it as small as possible so that it opens up properly. And that will dry overnight. Obviously, if you were using like a wet product, like a foundation or something, you can obviously go in right away. And then if you're working on other people, spray it with 70% alcohol as well. If a brush for me is like a little bit more stained, I'll lay it flat on this and then pour some directly on it. Just don't get it into the ferrule, which is the silver part. And like, be gentle. And if like one is more, like this is naturally a brush that's always been stained, then you can like deep cleanse it and you can use water, but also don't overdo it with the Dawn dish soap. Dawn dish soap is the only one I would use, the one with the little duck on it. Also don't pull when you're taking out the water, because you're gonna detach the hairs from the glue. So I pinch and actually like kind of like push it back in when I do it, but you can use Dawn as well. The good thing about the MAC brush cleaner though is it's going to condition the hairs as well as keep them sanitized. And if, especially in terms of like bold makeup, that's something you really want to have very clean eye brushes for. When you do like smoky eyes, especially if you like smoky eyes like mine, where they're like a little bit more on the like muddier side, the dirty brush is good. But again, you can only go so far with that. So even though that had like a lot of purple on it, and at this point the paper towel is like saturated, so you can kind of work it in any way that's a little bit stained. One of my best Secret Pro hacks to get foundation out of like really dense brushes like this. If you use airbrush cleaner, you can order it off Amazon. MAC used to make one. I don't think they make it anymore, because that is supposed to like get it out of like the inside of the machine. It will get really in here and like strip all of it out. Not just like clean it, like literally physically get the product out. It's so satisfying, but it's my favorite way to wash, to at least remove the makeup first before I wash the brush. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite makeup brushes are. If anything in this video helped you, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all under the same name, at Miss Megan Robinson. If you're ready to take your everyday makeup into intentional makeup and change the way you see makeup forever, make sure you hit the link in my description and join my Skool community platform. It is free to join, so make sure you get on that. Don't be late for school. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.